did you see pass interference on that last Quinn Ewers throw?
Skip, I'm looking at this. I was trying to find some pass interference in here, and I don't see it now. I see where you may be looking at his left arm on his shoulder before, as his right arm is squatting the ball.
Yes.
But no, when I saw that play, my first thought went to, what is he? Why is this ball? Why is he lobbing this ball? Why is he putting air under this ball? You know, because he was going towards a sideline. It wasn't like it was a fade route. So you're going towards the side. No. Right. So why are we dropping air? Why are we floating that ball out there? I thought, why is he not zipping this ball in here? You know, you zip that ball towards the towards that front pylon. Yep. And you bring that receiver back down where he can also box him out and make a play right towards that top pylon. Yep. I thought that's what should have been done right here. Yep. I see that left arm on his shoulder, but that's a great play, I thought, by the defensive back.
Okay, Michael, A.D. Mitchell is 6 feet 4 inches tall. He was at Georgia, and he caught big passes in both their national championships, in their national championship games. And he transferred to Texas, and so Ewers is thinking, I got 6'4" on maybe 6 feet. I just got to throw it up, put a little air underneath it, even though it's not a fade route, and hope he can go up and snatch it. He had caught one similar to that. I don't know if it was exactly the same route earlier in the game for a touchdown. Okay, so Elijah Jackson takes off and takes his left arm and wraps it around A.D. Mitchell's neck and catapults himself. He pulls himself. He slingshots himself up into the airspace of A.D. Mitchell at 6 feet 4 inches tall by wrapping his arm around A.D. Mitchell's neck for leverage to throw himself up into the airspace. And it looks like a great defensive play. It was. Again, if you see the back angle, if you're looking at it from the rear, as the official was, I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw the flag on that because he used the grab, the wrap around the neck to project himself, to launch himself up into A.D. Mitchell's airspace to get his right hand on the ball to bat it down. That's just me.
Right. And let me tell you why they won't get that call, Skip, is because they're going to say everyone has a free right to go get the football. And you left the defensive back facing the quarterback so he doesn't have to worry about looking up or looking back at a certain time. If I got 6'4" and you got 5'11", you got 5'8", 5'9", and I'm at this place in the field. I gotta play basketball on the football field here with my big guy. I can't leave the defensive back clear-eyed, cluing the quarterback and watching when the football comes out. I'm going to have to get him focused on me some kind of way, and then I can turn around and box him out. He's a small dude. I want him not off that ground, and I'm pressing against him so he can't get off the ground to climb up to the 6'4". You see what I'm saying? They should have taken that away from him.
Okay, I got it. Now let's look at Michael Penix Jr. I don't know if that was maybe the first night you've really focused on him, but listen, hey, Michael, you want to talk about being able to zing it, that lefty, it's like he's throwing rocket darts, left-handed. It always looks better to me left-handed. I don't know what it is about the optical illusion of it, but just looks like lefties are more accurate and deadly with their throws, but he would just zinging it. If we could see you can also launch it. Let's see the 77-yarder that pretty much began the game to poke.
Yeah.
That's just like effortless accuracy and velocity and distance. And this goes down.
Perfect throws.
It's a beautiful throw. And then we got the 2 touchdown passes. First one is to Poke, and he steps up. He can move around, too. That was he took it to himself.
Right.
Okay. And then we got another one to McMillan here later. This is the second touchdown pass. That's just a rocket dart. I love watching him throw the football. I love watching him move around. He can run it, too.
And he used that left hand, the way that other touchdown came out. That reminds you of Michael Vick. That ball jumps off. Remember how that ball used to jump off Michael Vick's hand? That reminds me of Michael Vick right there. I mean, it's just, he has. Listen, I heard people talking about him, even driving into work today, and they talking about, well, Michael Penix Jr., where do you think he's going to be? And it was like a late round, maybe a late round first, stuff like. I said, are you joking? That dude, no, man, are you joking? That when they get through the process, the way that kid moves and the way he throws that ball off his hands that quick, that fast, and how accurate he is, he'll jump up anybody's draft board. He's going to jump up draft boards.
I agree. Okay, walk me through this. Walk through it with me, Michael. At 2:40 left in this game, Washington opts to take a field goal that puts them up 9 points. And even the ESPN announcers are saying, boy, Washington's going to have to make a huge mistake here for Texas to get back in the game. So there's an onside kick by Texas that gets recovered by Washington. So they have the ball at Texas 44 with 109 left. And so the point is, 109 left, and they run 3 plays and they go nowhere, and they have to kick the ball away, and Texas is going to get the ball back with 45 seconds left. And look what happens on the punt fair catch. Washington does exactly what Washington cannot do at this point. The kid interferes with the fair catch. Well, that's 15 more yards. So they were going to be at their 16, and all of a sudden they have the ball out at the 31-yard line. Well, at this point, you're in some trouble because all of a sudden Quinn Ewers can throw, and he hits, if we'd see the throw to Whittington for 41, this is on 3rd and 10. He went incomplete, and then 3rd and 10. This is to Whittington, and I said, oh, my God. Here we go. Now, Michael, who picked Texas, in part because he lives in Dallas.
What a play.
This is like...
What a play.
Yeah, this is a play. This is a back shoulder.
What a play.
The DB falls down, and then he follows that up 2 plays later with a throw to the freshman Blue that I did not think he handled cleanly before he went out of bounds, but they gave it to him. This is
but they gave it to him. I thought so too. I said, oh my God, that thing looked like a little bit, just a little tad, because he was bobbling it right, moved it right here.
Yep.
But they gave it to him.
Okay. So all of a sudden they are set up shop down 1st and 10 at the 12, and they run a couple plays, and then it gets to 3rd and 11. And it looks like the time is going to run out. If we can see the 3rd and 11 play, because Ewers is chased by a free rusher, and he's about to get sacked, and he throws it out of bounds. And the clock says zeros, and they gave it to him. They gave him 1 second. So you get one last
No. It was actually 2 seconds. That really should have been 2 seconds put back on that clock. When you looked at the clock, when that ball went out of bounds, because when it went out of bounds the first time, I said, boy, that dude he goes to Washington. Because they let that clock. He clearly went out of bounds.
I thought it was home
at 2 seconds.
Yep.
Right, that was a home cooking. He's from Seattle, Washington. But they came back, and they gave him the time. 2 or 1 second wouldn't have made a difference. You only got 1 play.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. As long as you got that 1 play, so the 2 or 1 seconds didn't make a difference. And we talked about the play that they chose, which I would have liked to have chose a different play.
Yeah, so it's now 4th and 11 from the 13, and that last play happens, and the game ends, and Washington survives, 27-21 on this final play. And again, I thought they deserved one more shot. Because remember, as you know, Michael, in college football, it's not a spot foul on pass interference the way it is in pro football, so it's 15 yards. So they would have got half the distance. They would have had one untimed down, one more throw into the end zone from about 6.5 yards away. So I thought they deserved it. You didn't. But now onward and upward to the Monday night.
But you see that Skip, he had so much time back here to throw when he let that ball go. Yeah. He had so much time. I could have I could drive my receiver off and then come back and you win that game right there. I'm surprised. Yeah, you win that game. I'm surprised that all these backers, linebackers, why are they not dropping farther off and, you know what I mean, being able to help or be able to run up under that, because he has to throw in the end zone. All of that field, that doesn't matter. You got to get the ball in the end zone right there for that 1 second.
So Washington, it was sort of insult to injury or injury to insult, because in their last possession, when they failed to kill enough of the clock, their lead back, Dylan Johnson, got hurt. And I'm not sure about the extent of it, except that Kalen DeBoer said after the game, the coach, that it did not look good. So obviously it's just now a week until next Monday night. And so they could be without a back who ran for 1,162 yards. So that could be a problem. They also lost a couple of corners in this game. So the point is, do you give Washington much of a shot against Michigan, who is now a 4.5-point favorite this next Monday night for the championship?
Well, not Washington or Texas. I thought when I first saw that game start off, I said, man, this reminds me of when I first retired and was doing some arena football for NBC. It was, you know, in the NFL, you say, oh, let's make sure we're putting together scoring drives. In arena, it's like, let me see who can get a stop or two. That's who will win this game. Yeah. And I felt like that early on. Well, let's see who can get a stop or two.
Good point.
Texas is going, hey, listen, Michigan will stop you. Texas couldn't stop you. Michigan will get a few stops.
They will.
It's just a matter of Michigan's offense playing much better than they played last week. They got to play better. They will play better because they can't play much worse than some of the areas, some of the errors they had.
Okay, I believe that Michael Penix Jr. will get his against Michigan, but Michigan will get some stops because they will get more heat on him than Texas did, even though Texas has a stout defensive front. The problem with Washington for me, Michael, is their pass defense ranked 119th nationally. 119th. That's why Quinn Ewers was able, when given the late opportunity, to hit Whittington, as we just showed, for 41, to hit Blue for 16, to almost hit A.D. Mitchell for the game-winning touchdown. So it's why they have a fatal flaw. They're just vulnerable in their secondary. Again, I thought Texas was also even more vulnerable in its secondary against Michael Penix Jr., but Michigan's defense is rock solid. They're veteran. They're nasty. They bring the heat and the pain on the quarterback. I just think they're going to win this game by 10 or so points, even though I have, as I said, I thought Michael Penix should have won the Heisman.
Yeah. And they said it. They didn't come this far. They did not come this far to lose this game at this moment. No. And I think they win this game. And I think they win by more than the 4.5 that they're being given.
Okay. And yet, all glory to this Washington team because they played in the shadows. They've been underdogs. Nobody thought they could beat Oregon. Nobody thought they could beat Oregon again. Nobody thought they could beat Texas. So I give it up to them for what they've accomplished because they've lost no games this year. So I'm intrigued by the matchup, but Washington's going to have to figure out a way to outscore Michigan, and I don't think they can, especially without their lead running back. Okay, let's get back to the Dallas Cowboys because speaking of running, the Cowboys' running game has slowed to a walk. Will that be their fatal flaw as we hit the playoffs? No mercy, no mercy, no mercy. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.